Hello, my dear students. Good morning. I hope you are in safe and sound. पिलाने आज आम Daffodils poem पढ़ा, which is composed by William Wordsworth, the eminent romantic poet. There are 5 members in a romantic movement: William Wordsworth, John Keats, P.B. Shelley, S.T. Coleridge and Lord Byron. Among them, William Wordsworth was the pioneer of Romantic age. He always spiritualizes nature. He is the worshipper of nature. He always believes to the pantheism. According to him, nature is the nurse, the guide, the guardian of his heart and soul. William Wordsworth always says, nature has a world of ready wealth, our mind and heart to bless. In the poem Table Talk, William Wordsworth presents one impulse from the vernal wood, may teach you more of man, of moral, evil and good than all the sages can. My dear students, you know it very well. A thing of beauty is joy forever. Nature always gives us pleasure. It stands for color and aroma. In the present poem, Daffodils, the poet has presented the beauty of nature. That means the poet describes about a large number of beautiful flowers named daffodils near the Lake of England, near the Wool's Lake, near the Wool's Lake of England. One day, the poet and his sister Dorothy visited to the Wool's Lake only to enjoy the beauty of nature. While they were roaming or wandering, all on a sudden the poet left his sister's hand. Dorothy was his lovely sister. He left his sister's hand and enjoyed a large number of daffodils near the lake. The poet was wandering lonely, just like a patches of a cloud in the sky. Like a patches of a cloud, the poet was roaming aimlessly. So the poet compares himself with a large number of cloud or patches of a cloud here and there, floating here and there. The poet came across a large number of daffodils. He saw 10,000 daffodils at a glance. आखि पिचड़ा के 10,000 देखिले. The daffodils were dancing, fluttering and dangling near the Wool's Lake. Then the poet became over imaginative. बहुत भावप्रवण हेले. He wanted to present and color the beauty of nature. The daffodils were more beautiful than the twinkling stars. The poet compares the daffodils with a large number of stars or innumerable stars in the Milky Way. The stars were twinkling, glittering and dazzling. Like that, daffodils were dancing, fluttering near the lake. The poet compares the daffodils with innumerable stars. Then the poet compares daffodils with the dance of the waves. Really, the dance of the waves was beautiful, loving. But the poet says daffodils were dancing, fluttering and glittering, more beautiful than the waves. The dance of daffodils was loving and living, sprightly dance than the waves. When the poet was wandering near the Wool's lake, he saw a large number of daffodils beside the lake and beneath the trees. After enjoying the beauty of nature, the colorful picture of daffodils, the poet wanted to return back or come back his home. In his coach, at evening, in his coach, he remembers and recollects the beautiful sight of dancing daffodils. According to William Wordsworth, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of a powerful feeling recollected in tranquility. କବିତା ନୀରବ ନିଶ୍ଚଳ ମନରେ କବିତାର ଉଚ୍ଛ୍ୱାସ ଆସେ। ଏଠି କବି ଯେତେବେଳେ ହଠାତ୍ ବିଛଣାରେ ପଡ଼ି ରହିଛନ୍ତି, he switched on the third eye, that is inward eye, and a large number of daffodils entered into his room, and the poet became overjoyed and danced with the daffodils. This is the brief summary of the poem Daffodils. ପିଲାମାନେ ଏବେ ଆମେ ଟେକ୍ସଟ ବୁକ୍ ଦେଖିବା। ଟେକ୍ସଟ ବୁକ୍ର ଡିଟେଲ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିବା। poem Daffodils, composed by William Wordsworth, the eminent romantic poet. From the very beginning, I told you, the poet has presented the cheerful sight of dancing daffodils near the Wool's lake. Daffodils were dancing, fluttering beside the lake and beneath the trees. My dear students, when the poet was wandering lonely, he came across with a large number of daffodils. Please you listen me. I read the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in a sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves. In glee, a poet could not be gay. In such a jocund company, I gazed and gazed, but a little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For often, when all my coach I lie in vacant or in pensive mode, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills, and I danced with the daffodils. My dear students, William Wordsworth presents the modern man. The people are materialistic. We are unable to understand the beauty and majesty of nature. People, they are running towards many more and much. So, in the poem, the world is too much with us. The poet says, the world is too much with us. Getting and spending, we lay waste our power, little we see that is ours. Really, nature is the nurse, nature is the guide, the guardian of our heart and soul. Nature always teaches us, and the wealth of the nature is more beautiful, more valuable than the wealth of the whole universe. My dear students, from the beginning of the poem, the poet presents the picture of the Wolf's lake. Wolf's lake कोड़े बुलु बुलु से निजको कंपेयर करचंती, निजको प्रकाश करचंती. I wandered lonely as a cloud. That poet was wandering lonely like a patches of a cloud near the Wolf's lake that floats on high over vales and hills, like the patches of clouds. The clouds, they were wandering here and there, and they touched to the hills and vales, when all at once, all on a sudden, the poet saw, I saw a crowd. That crowd was created by a large number of daffodils. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of means a host of means a large number of a host of daffodils. That daffodils, they were dancing and fluttering beside the lake and beneath the trees. ପିଲାମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଆସେ, when and where the poet saw daffodils? The poet saw daffodils beside the lake and beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Breeze means ଥଣ୍ଡା ପବନ, କୋମଳ ପବନ, ସୁଲୁସୁଲିଆ ପବନରେ daffodils ମାନେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ନାଚକୁଦ କରୁଛନ୍ତି. That means it is said a thing of beauty is joy forever. Poetry of earth never ends. Beauty never fades. The nature of beauty never fades. But our beauty fades when the next sun rises. Continuous as the stars that shine. The beauty of daffodils, the beauty of daffodils was continuously evoked to the mind of the poet, and twinkle in the Milky Way, daffodils were dancing. Similarly, the stars were glittering, dazzling, and twinkling in the Milky Way. So the poet compares daffodils with the stars in the Milky Way. They stretched in a never-ending line. एते लंबारे लंबिछंती से लाइन केबे शेष हेब नाही. Along the margin of a bay, से बेला समुद्र बेलाभूमि रे बा कहिपार ह्रदर कूड़े कूड़े असंख्य डैफोडिल्स माड़ी जाइछंती लंबी जाइछंती एवं tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The dance was living, the dance was loving and sprightly also. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. That means the poet compares the beautiful dance of the daffodils with the waves. The dance of the waves is very beautiful, very loving. Still, the poet gives or presents the appreciation of the dance of the daffodils. That means daffodils dance was more beautiful than the dance of the waves. Outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet, as a poet, the poet could not but be gay. Joy. He finds joy and joy, pleasure and pleasure. He overjoyed. अति खुशी रे बहुत चेष्टा कले बहुत समय एंजॉय करिवे ब्यूटीफुल पिक्चर ऑफ द डैफोडिल्स इन सच ए जकंड कंपनी. व्हाट डज इट मीन्स जकंड कंपनी? joyful or cheerful friend, joyful or cheerful, jocund, cheerful. Such a jocund company, a poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. A jocund company सहित भल सुंदर cheerful friend सहित enjoy करने को चाहते. What wealth? From the beginning I told you, nature has a world of ready wealth, our mind and heart to bless. My dear students, what wealth? प्रकृति कूल जेते संपत्ति अच्छी ए संपत्ति that means the wealth of the nature is more valuable than the wealth of the universe. ए समग्र पृथ्वी रे आम पाखरे जेते संपत्ति अच्छी ए प्रकृतिर संपत्ति बहुमूल्यवान. Then what wealth the soul to me had brought, for often when on my couch I lie. Couch means when on my couch, that is bed. ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫେରି ଆସିଲି ପଏଟ୍ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଉଇଲ୍ ମର୍ସାର୍ଥ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫେରି ଆସିଲି ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ଲେକ୍ when I lie on my couch ବିଛଣାରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଶୋଇଗଲି I switched on the third eye, that is inward eye. I switched on the third eye or inward eye in a vacant or in a pensive mode. Vacant mode. Completely I was in a vacant mode or sometimes pensive mode, painful mode. They flash upon that inward eye. Suddenly daffodils entered my room. At that time I was on my couch. Either I was in vacant mode or in pensive mode. They flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of a solitude. Which bliss of a solitude? That means poet was alone. The poet was alone in or on his bed. कवि तंक रूम रे एकुटिया बिछଣା ଉପରେ एकुटिया किंतु he saw That means spontaneous overflow of powerful feeling which recollected in tranquility. नीरवर जेतेबेले तृतीय नयन खोलीदेले असंख्य डैफोडिल्स देखुचंती प्रकृतिर सौंदर्य को से वर्णना करने को जाई ओभर इमेजिनेटिव हेई से कौन कहिसेंती व्हिच इन द ब्लिस ऑफ सॉलिट्यूड. That means he got heavenly pleasure and he became over imaginative and he danced with the daffodils in his dreamland. स्वप्न राज्य रे हजी जाई daffodils सहित नाचुचंती कौन. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. daffodils सहित नाचुची मतवाल हो जाइछन्ति कवि ए डैफोडिल सहित सुंदर भाव एंजॉय करिछन्ति. बहु समय ए पार्थिव दुनियार दुखता को भाराक्रांत करिछि शेष रे डैफोडिल सहित नाची नाची से एंजॉय करिछन्ति आउ भाविछन्ति से प्रकृति सहित ताल मिले निजर संपत्ति नुहे प्रकृतिर संपत्ति नहीं से चिरकाल पर्यंत उपभोग करिवे. That means a thing of beauty will give him pleasure. At the end of the poem, the poet presents the imaginative mind when he feels the solitude. एका एका जेतेबेले से रहिछन्ती एका एका जेतेबेले से भाबुचन्ती सतरे प्रकृति कूल जो आनंद अछि से आनंद केबे कोठी मिलिबो नहीं. My dear students, you read the poem carefully. In the next class, I will describe on details about the question and answer and the detailed analysis. Thank you. God bless you. See you again.